What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay today, back with another YouTube video. This is basically piggybacking off of the short that I dropped earlier. Basically just giving guys an update on what's going on since the last video, and basically just giving y'all a few things right now just to fill up for the time being. So for one, the main thing right now is the CGC submission that I sent out last month, in the beginning of last month. Right now, the status of that is saying scheduled for grading. I keep checking every day to see if it changes. I cannot wait till that order comes back here, because that is a video for you guys. I can't wait. Like I said, raw reactions, etc, etc, etc. So that's that with the CGC submission. I've been really antsy. I've been seeing people unbox theirs, so I can't wait for mine. That's number one. Number two, the main thing of this channel is the pack ripping and showing you guys my experience. I'm building a cart right now as we are speaking. Well, not right now, but as soon as I finish this video, I'm just going to tweak the cart and pull the button to order those cards. It's going to be a Japanese only. If you're not a fan of Japanese Pokemon, I apologize, but I am, and they're really good price right now. So it's only going to be Japanese only at the moment until I go to the store and see some English product that I may want to buy. So that's as far as the pack ripping videos are going to go. So hopefully the next week or so, we might have another video for that. Third, I've been more so focused on tweaking my Mercari page due to them updating their policies and making it less favorable for buyers that want to buy with all of the fees. So I've been trying to mitigate countering with sales and prices and everything, and using the proceeds to fund my personal collection, which I want to talk about for the rest of this video, actually, is personal collection. So right now, this is what I recently got for my personal collections, and I'm going to break down why I got them and the grade and everything. I'm just going to run through them really fast. First, I got this Medicham V Alt-Art from Evolving Skies. I have this Glaceon Level X Dawn Dash Japanese, this Kamenegi or Farfetch Sealdas, and these two Alt-Arts, or special illustration rares, as I should say, from the Scarlet and Violet era. This one is the base set in the left and Paldea to the right. So I'm gonna give you guys a little breakdown on why I decided to pick these up, and not being in PSA 10, of course, I'm gonna break it down. So lastly, I skipped the part. Lastly, I'm debating on showing you guys, or making a video to show you guys, either my PSA 1 contender binder. They're all jacked up cards in their own little way. Showing you guys that's like my personal collection, that if I got into a little bit of cash, I'd send them out just for giggles for PSA 1s. And my slab collection, actually, my personal slab collection. In total, I believe I've had maybe almost 200 to 300 slabs. A good portion of them I sold, of course, because they weren't really big slabs or anything. It's just more so to give to other people who collect, for me to try to get like a trade-off to get stuff that I want to collect. But I'm debating on making a personal collection video, honestly, to show you guys. That's why I just showed you guys a little bit right now. I know this ain't super heat, but to me, being back involved, this is pretty good. So I'm thinking about it. I'll let you guys know how I feel about showing that video. But yeah, like I said, personal collection. Now, we all know PSA 10, CGC 10, BGS 10. A 10 is a 10. Boom. No doubt about it. There's no dispute in that. There's no arguments in that. But some people might feel 10s are overhyped. We have a market for trash cards, PSA 1s and under, if that's possible. But a lot of people don't really talk about PSA 9s, PSA 8s, and PSA 7s, or CGC 7s and 8s and 9s, etc., etc. I look at things a little differently. Not only because I sell product, or well, slabs and sometimes raw singles, or trade them, but as a collector, I look at it differently, because let's be real, it costs money to be in this hobby. I don't know who told you it's going to be cheap. It's not. It costs money. Like this slab especially, I'm gonna break it down to you, everything. And me personally, as a collector, it doesn't bother me that I get 9s. And actually, I feel like getting 9s and 8s are actually a good thing, as far as getting these harder to grab cards in sets. So here's this. So boom. You're familiar with Evolving Skies. You know that is the Moonbreon set. There are other Evolution cards in that set that are really nice. You got a lot of alt VMAXs, a lot of alt Vs. You got other alternate Vs that are not evolutions like this Metachan V. You got a Duraludon V and VMAX, I believe, in that set as well. And these all have premium prices. These are all double-digit alternate art cards. The last time I checked, this is between $12 to $17 raw. I have a raw one, and that was more so a reason why I pushed to actually get this, because the price that somebody was trading me for it was about $20. Now that's low because it's an alternate art and it's in a 9. It's crazy, but they wanted it off their hands. I mean, I'm not saying all of them should go for 20, but they wanted them off their hands, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll break it down to you even further. So I had one raw, and I was saying, well, you know what? I think it might get a 9, and I was contemplating on sending it out, but this definitely helps me out because they look about the same as far as centering. Now, going back to Evolving Skies, if you're familiar with that set, there's a premium price for that pack. I believe the cheapest I've seen anybody sell it, and this is store and personal, was like $8. That's $8. If we go by that, let's say everybody was, honorable and charged $8 for this pack. You're not going to pull an alternate art in the first pack. I mean, there is beginner's luck, but on average, you're not going to. Let's just say in 20 packs, you may pull a V or a holo, right? But you'll pull a regular V. Let's say in 20 packs, you'll pull a regular V. You can pull a Metachan V regular. You do the math. 20 times 8 is 160. By then, you could have bought a PSA 10 for half that, if you understand what I'm saying. So 9s, I like 9s. I mean, I'm not really crazy about 7s unless it's something like this, but we're going to get into that. But 9s are not as bad. I wish they were 9.5s for PSA. That's why I like CGC and BGS more, because 9.5s, they're like I wouldn't call them the middle child, but they hold their own weight. Because when you see a 9, it's a significant drop from a 10, which is crazy to me. But like I said, with the set being the way it is, like Evolving Skies being expensive now because it's still in print, my personal thing is I wouldn't mind grabbing all of the alternate arts for under what they're going for, especially if you're getting the slab for what it would cost, for less than what it would cost to get this card raw from buying from somebody, and the price to actually grade it. It's a steal. And once Evolving Skies goes out of print completely, all of the alternate arts are going to skyrocket. Even all of the Evolution regular Vs are going to skyrocket because Evolving Skies is a sought after set. So that's why I'm like, all right, people turn their nose, and I'm like, that's fine with me, because I'll have a whole bunch of 9s in my set that only will increase in value. Am I mad they're not 10s? No. I mean, if I get my hand on a 10, I'll get my hand on a 10, but a 9 alternate art for cheap, opposed to spending everything else, is perfect. So now we're going to get into lower than 9s. So right now in my hands, I have 2 PSA 7s. This card, I believe, raw is like $20-something. In a 7, it goes from $30 to $50. The Leafeon in this set is actually about $50 in a 7. And I think in a PSA 10, if I'm not mistaken, is high hundreds, close to 1,000. So this is an Evolution card. These cards are really hard. People have a premium, and this is a level X. They don't make these anymore. I couldn't pass up on the price, and I didn't care that it was a 7. Truth be told, it would have been a 10 if it wasn't for these whitening here, because the centering and everything else is perfect. So in my mind, I got a PSA 10 front-facing card for dirt cheap. And if I want to sell it, I can make back the money because they don't make these cards anymore. But people are partial to the grades that they are. It's more trying to show you guys ways of collecting without breaking the bank. Now I got this was in a bulk order. I guess they didn't know about it or didn't want it. I did my little research on what I can, and I believe there's only 3 of these graded by PSA. 2 of them are in a 7, 1 of them in an 8. So now we're going back to the grade standpoint. When you have something like this and there's only less than a handful, the grades doesn't necessarily matter if it's not a 10, because if there's only 3 of these and the highest is an 8, that 8, in my opinion, should act like a 10 because there's only 3 of these graded. Especially if these are hard to get and they're hard to grade, and there's only 3 that are graded with, you know, the reputability of PSA, because everybody holds PSA in a high regard. I like their slabs. I personally like CGC because of the pristine and the BGS because they're a little thicker. But PSA, I started to grow for them as I started getting my hands on more of them. And as far as me selling, it's less difficult because people don't turn their nose up to PSA. But to have 1 or 3 graded, the 7 acts as if it's a 9. Somebody would understand what I'm saying. But basic bottom line of what I'm talking about is that for me, if I see 9s in alternate arts and they're going for relatively cheap, I'm buying it because it saves me the money from trying to buy hundreds and hundreds of packs, getting the same card over and over again. Then finally, if I do pull it, then finally saying, all right, I spent $100 on 40 packs and I just pulled this. Then I got to grade it. And then I grade it and it ends up being a 9. I was just better off spending my money getting this slab. You understand what I'm saying to you all? I mean, I know you're not right in front of me, but, you know, basically that's what I'm saying. So to sum it up, right, I'm just showing you all who decided to collect and is getting back into it, ways of going about collecting certain cards, certain chase cards that you're after. I'm not really crazy about Metachan V. It's not a card that I had on my mind, but I'm not going to pass up on the alternate art. I mean, these are who they are, the evolutions, so I'm not going to pass up on that either. And like I said, if you see alternate arts for dirt cheap, buy it. Stash it. It's a good investment because we're already, let's say, 10 different sets into the Sword and Shield era. The Scarlet and Violet era. There's no more Sun and Moon, I don't believe. Sword and Shield is starting to phase out a little bit. You know, I can't find Rebel Clash or the base set. Right now, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, those big hitters, they're still out there. But eventually, next year and so, when they start phasing out and start dropping, because you can't find Evolving Skies anywhere. And once they say, yo, Evolving Skies is dead, all of these are going to go up in price. I mean, I might be telling on myself here and messing it up, but I mean, I'm just trying to share knowledge to everybody else on what personal collection means. But thank you guys. I said I'd make this video quick. Thank you all for whoever's watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is just a filler until another video comes. So I hope all is well. You guys take it easy. Later.